I'm glad this room is small. I'm not impressed by crowds. Jesus wasn't either. He fed them and then he sent them away. He trimmed 12 down to 11 to change the world. My real love is people like you, serious minds, not curious eyes, who came to be trained, not entertained. Write this down. This is not a miracle service. This is a manufacturing recall. We're returning to the manufacturer to restore you to original design. Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our image after our likeness and let them have dominion. The Hebrew word is rada, to rule, to manage, to govern by design. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. And assignments must be deployed. So here is the big question in the small room. When a team truly functions, who's the leader? Sit with it. Don't rush. Don't reach for a title. Don't look for a chair with arms on it. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone, write this down, vision is more important than leadership. Without vision, leaders become dangerous. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Habakkuk 2:2 adds, write the vision and make it plain. The vision leads. People serve their function in service to it. That's the frame for this entire session. If you miss that, you search for a boss while ignoring your birthright. I want you to feel the tension, because tension births clarity. Many of you were trained to chase positions, but positions are cheap when purpose is absent. The kingdom never starts with a title. It starts with a vision from the king. Jesus declared in Luke 4:18, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to preach good news. That's vision speaking. The crowd wasn't his compass. The assignment was, and he deployed himself accordingly. Write this down. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Employment can end. Deployment is eternal because it comes from your design. Say it with me. I came to be deployed, not just employed. I came to be deployed, not just employed. Again, because your heart must hear your mouth. I came to be deployed, not just employed. That declaration is not hype, it is alignment. Now here, the manufacturer's blueprint for teams. Ephesians 4:16 says, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplies. Every joint supplies, every part contributes, every function leads in its time and place. Write this down. Leadership is function, not rank. The question is not who is in charge. The question is, what is the vision and what is my function to advance it? When vision is clear, authority flows to function. When vision is absent, people fight for chairs. Let me confront your training gently but firmly. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. If you tolerate confusion about vision, you will negotiate your design for a paycheck. If you tolerate crowd religion, you will mistake sensation for strategy. This room is a recall, not a rally. The manufacturer is summoning you back to specifications to calibrate you for assignment. Say this with me. The vision leads, my function serves. Again, the vision leads, my function serves. So who's the leader? We will answer it all night, but let the seed lodge now. No one and everyone, the vision leads. Your task is to discover, refine, and deploy your God-given function in obedience to that vision. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. Welcome to deployment. Let me unlock the paradox with a story so simple it will embarrass your ego. I rode in a friend's car, beautiful machine, $90,000 of engineering elegance. Leather like butter, engine purring like a lion after lunch. We rode onto the highway, tapped the power, and suddenly silence. The whole kingdom shut down. Lights dead, momentum gone. We coasted to the shoulder with a monumental wealth that could not move. The verdict? A $4 wire. Not the engine block, not the transmission. A little terminal wire fled its post, and the king became a corpse. Write this down. Power without a pod fails. Who's the leader in that engine? The piston, the camshaft, the spark plug, the battery, the wire. Listen carefully. No one and everyone. Leadership moves by function. When it's time to combust, the plug leads. When it's time to deliver torque, the crankshaft leads. When it's time to feed current, the wire leads. The moment defines the leader because the moment demands the function. Write this down. Importance is contextual and interdependent. The Apostle Paul said it before Detroit did. The eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of thee. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. 1 Corinthians 12, 21, 22. And verse 18 anchors it. But now hath God set the members, every one of them in the body, as it hath pleased him. God set the wire where it belongs. He set you where you belong. If a $4 wire can paralyze a $90,000 system, then stop despising your assignment because it looks small. Write this down. There are no small parts, only small perspectives. Some of you want to be the engine because people clap for engines. But hear me, if the wire tries to roar like a cylinder, the car dies. If the brake tries to accelerate, we all perish. Titles impress crowds, functions move vision. Say with me, everyone is a leader in their function. Again, everyone is a leader in their function. Louder, everyone is a leader in their function. This is why arrogance is ignorance. You cannot measure your importance apart from the vision and the team. Your greatness is revealed where your function meets the moment. When the moment arrives that matches your design, step forward. When it passes, step back. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Leadership is not a chair you hold. It is a contribution you make on time. Now let me correct a disease that has crippled organizations, churches, and even families for centuries, titled addiction. We have become intoxicated with chairs, drunk on badges, and allergic to function. Write this down. Rank is permission, function is leadership. A title may open a door, but only contribution moves anything through it. Jesus said in Matthew 20:26, whoever would be great among you must be your servant. The Greek word is diakonos, one who executes a function on behalf of another. Greatness is attached to function, not a label stitched on a jacket. Say it with me. My function is my leadership. Again, my function is my leadership. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Write that down, underline it, and put today's date next to it. Your employer can terminate your job. They cannot fire your work. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Employment is a contract. Deployment is a calling. Deployment is when your discovered gift is released to solve a specific problem for a specific vision. That is leadership, not the parking space, not the color of your lanyard. The value your function delivers to the vision is the only honest metric of your leadership. Leaders don't seek followers, they serve value, and followers are attracted to value. Jesus didn't pass out business cards. He announced his function. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me to preach, to heal, to set at liberty. Luke 4:18. Function first. And what happened? Great multitudes followed him, not because he hunted them, but because he served a solution. Write this down. You don't chase people, you chase purpose, and people chase you. If your day is spent trying to make people follow you, you're not a leader, you're a beggar with a title. Let me give you a picture you can't unsee. In an operating theater, who's the leader? When it's time to cut, the surgeon leads. When the heart dips, the anesthetist leads. When infection control is at stake, the sterile nurse leads. If the CEO of the hospital barges in to hold the scalpel, that's malpractice. No one and everyone. Authority follows function in a world that respects life. Write this down. Role clarity is more powerful than positional authority. I have watched teams where the moment a crisis hits, the lowest ranked technician quiets the room because the function needed is in his hands. The badge bows to the gift. Let me make it practical. Case note from my own consulting. A company drowning in 3-hour meetings, turf wars, and email hurricanes. We did one thing. We clarified roles by function against a shared vision. We wrote down exactly who leads what, when, and who hands off to whom at which threshold. Meetings dropped from 180 minutes to 45. Conflicts dropped by 60%. Why? Because ambiguity breeds ego. Clarity breeds contribution. Write this down. When roles are clear, meetings speed up and conflicts go down. Don't pray for unity while tolerating confusion. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Proverbs 18:16 declares, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. It doesn't say his title makes room. Your gift, your function creates access because value is a universal language. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. Matthew 5:16. not your good business card. Works are measurable. Fruit is countable. That's how heaven audits leadership. Now confront your own culture. If your worth rises and falls with where you sit, you are already seated in the wrong place. Promotion in the kingdom is not a chair you climb into. It is a weight you prove you can carry. Saul had the crown. David had the function. When Goliath appeared, the shepherd led because the moment demanded his grace. Write this down. The moment will always promote the one whose function matches the need. Titles look for applause. Functions look for problems. Say it with me. I am deployed to deliver value. Again, my leadership is the value my function delivers. One more time. So your heart hears it, rank is permission. Function is leadership. If you will honor your design, anchor to vision, and clarify your role, you will stop negotiating for power and start generating fruit. And when fruit shows up, even your enemies will call you leader, because evidence has a voice that titles can't counterfeit. Let us go back to the manufacturer, because design decides destiny. Genesis 1:26 is not poetry. It is a production note from heaven. Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion. The Hebrew says ish, not male, but species, humanity as a kind. And the mandate is radar, to govern, to manage, to rule a domain on behalf of the owner. Write this down. You were designed to rule something, not someone. Dominion is over the fish, the birds, the earth, systems, environments, never over people. Any attempt to control people is a confession that you lost your domain. Say it with me. I was designed to dominate my domain, not people. True leadership is self-discovery. You will never become a true leader until you are introduced to yourself. Not the self your culture named, not the self your failures framed. The self the manufacturer intended. You are not an accident. You are an assignment sent with a domain to serve. Some of you carry a domain of numbers. They speak to you. Others, the domain of plants. They flourish in your hands. Some carry systems. Chaos bows when you arrive. Others carry children. Destiny awakens at your voice. There are domains in sound, in code, in medicine, in policy, in cities. Your function flows from your God-given design. The blueprint is in the breath he placed in you. How do we find it? Vision. Write this down. Vision reveals function. Function reveals value. When God gives vision, he is not giving you a hobby. He is announcing a problem you were designed to solve. Moses saw a burning bush and a nation's future. Gideon heard, the Lord is with you, mighty man of valor, while hiding in a wine press, because vision introduces you to the self. Heaven knows. Judges 6. Paul heard, you are a chosen instrument to carry my name before the Gentiles. Acts 9:15. Vision didn't flatter them. It located them. It pulled their function into the open and measured their value by the problems they could solve. Image and likeness matter. Image is capacity. Likeness is character. Capacity without character becomes tyranny. That is why Jesus said, whoever would be great among you must be your servant. Matthew 20:26. Dominion is stewardship, not domination. Ephesians 2:10 calls you his workmanship, poema, a crafted work created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand. That means your function was prepared before your birth. You are not searching for something to do. You are discovering what you were already designed to be. So ask the manufacturer, what domain calls to me? What problem angers me? What do I do with ease that liberates others? Your answers are not random. They are road signs to your assignment. Write this down. Discover identity to discover leadership. When you align with your design, authority flows without strain, because grace always funds assignment. Say it again until your soul believes it. I was designed to dominate my domain, not people. Now, let the vision you carry introduce you to the leader you already are. Before we design methods and build charts, we must service the engine that drives everything, your mindset. Write this down. Mentality before method. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. You can rent skill. You cannot outsource belief. Attitude governs action, and action governs outcome. Say it with me. Change my mind, change my life. Look at the lion. Not the tallest, not the heaviest, not the fastest. Yet when the lion sees the elephant, the eyes report giant, but belief declares lunch. The elephant sees the lion and his eyes report small cat. His belief screams eater. Both see the same data. Their beliefs interpret it. Write this down. Your eyes describe reality. Your belief decides response. If your heart calls your assignment a monster, you will run from the very battlefield you were designed to dominate. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. That word heart is not the pump. It is the subconscious governor, the hidden program that sets your reactions before your brain holds a meeting. Now, consider your speedometer and your speed limits. Your car can do more than your culture permits. The dial says 180, but the sign says 55, and you obey the sign even when the road is empty because the police move from the highway into your head. I learned this on the Autobahn. No posted limit. At first, my foot trembled at 120, then 140, then 170, and then I laughed. There was life after 170. The road didn't change. The car didn't change. I changed. My belief system took the handbrake off my potential, and suddenly competency followed confidence. Write this down. As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. Change belief, change behavior. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Your mind is your operating system. If it is infected with limits, family narratives, school labels, religious guilt, you will downshift when destiny requires acceleration. Upgrade the OS. Feed on vision. Replace I can't with I was designed. Replace I'm not the leader with I lead when my function is called. Audit your governors. Who taught you 55? A failure from 10 years ago. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into the ditch. Matthew 15:14. Change your guides. Sit with eagles, not turkeys. Speak future until heart updates identity. Say it with me. I am a lion in my domain. My eyes report facts. My belief chooses faith. My speedometer is not my ceiling. My culture is not my cage. Leadership is born when toleration ends, so I end tolerating small thinking today. The vision leads, my renewed mind follows at full capacity. Let me take that belief and fit it back into the machine. Write this down. Context creates kings. On a mountain descent, the brake is king. In a desert crossing, the radiator is king. In a thunderstorm, the wiper is king. On black ice, the tire tread is king. Same car, same price tag, different moments, and the moment decides which function leads. No one and everyone. Now listen, with the sobriety of a pilot before takeoff. When any part fails, the whole vehicle is humbled. A $4 wire can silence a $90,000 engine. A $2 O-ring can leak your destiny onto the asphalt. Contempt for small parts kills capacity. Write this down. Honor every function or sabotage the mission. Romans 12:10 says, outdo one another in showing honor. And 1 Corinthians 12:26 adds, if one member suffers, all suffer together. That means if the wire weeps, the engine weeps. If the brake fades, the driver prays. If the radiator boils, the vision waits on the shoulder with the hazard lights blinking while pride evaporates through the hood. Say it with me. Every function is indispensable somewhere. Again, every function is indispensable somewhere. This is why arrogance is ignorance. Don't strut because you led on the highway. You might be a liability on the mountain. Don't sulk because you were quiet in the sunlight. Your turn is coming at night in the rain. Respect the rotation. Submit to the sequence. Write this down. Interdependence is the only safe form of power. Let me correct a cultural sickness. Stop saying just. She's just the assistant. He's just in maintenance. They're just operations. There is no just in a system built by a manufacturer who numbered your hairs and fitted your joints. Luke 12:7. Ephesians 4:16. Honor to whom honor is due. Romans 13:7. Replace celebrity with ceremony. Publicly esteem the unseen functions. Build altars of appreciation. Because honor is not flattery. Honor is lubrication. It keeps the gears from grinding. Practical now. Write this down. Map dependencies. Pre-plan handoffs where your function is someone else's lifeline. Take a whiteboard and draw the vision in the center. Then trace every function as arteries feeding it. Ask 3 questions for each link. What must be true before I lead? What signal tells me to hand off? What fail-safe protects the next function if I falter? Install simple cues. Green means go. Yellow means prepare to receive. Red means stop and stabilize. Appoint a steward for each critical junction. Clarity at the junction prevents collisions on the journey. Schedule rehearsal handoffs the way a surgical team rehearses a code blue. If the brake must lead on the mountain, the transmission must know exactly when to bow. If the radiator must lead in the desert, the throttle must respect the temperature gauge like scripture. Write this down. Honor is not a feeling. It is a system. Put it on calendars, in checklists, into language. My deliverable is your runway. My finish line is your starting block. I decrease so you can increase, John 3:30. Say it with me. We lead by turn, we win by team. One more time. Honor every function or sabotage the mission. When honor becomes your operating system, the $4 wire stands tall. The brake holds the mountain. The radiator rules the desert. And the vision arrives with every part still singing. Now let's move from theory to your life. You can honor every function on a chart and still hide your own. Write this down. Employment can end. Deployment continues. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Revelation 14:13 says, their works do follow them, not their job description. Their works, say it with me, I refuse to rent my life. Again, because your heart needs to hear your mouth. I refuse to rent my life. Romans 12:6 declares, having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. The Greek word is charisma, grace, endowment, not a personality trick, a divine deposit. 1 Peter 4:10 adds, as each has received the gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. Write this down. Your gift is not for ego. It is for service. Your function is your ministry. Say it with me. My gift is my leadership. My function is my service. How do you find it? 3 signals. Write this down. What angers you, what you solve effortlessly, and what others constantly request. Nehemiah wept and burned over broken walls. That anger was a clue to his assignment. Nehemiah 1. David's righteous indignation rose when Goliath taunted Israel. That anger revealed a domain where his sling was king. 1 Samuel 17. Your holy discontent is a compass, not a character flaw. Second, what do you solve effortlessly? When you do it, time collapses, clarity appears, and people relax. That ease is not laziness. It is grace-fitting function. Third, what do others keep asking you for? Pay attention to repeated demand. The market for your gift is often louder than your self-awareness. Proverbs 18:16, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. The room it creates is the room you are assigned to furnish. Let me talk tough because I love you. Some of you are praying for promotion while ignoring proficiency in your gift. Heaven will not promote what you refuse to deploy. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Stop tolerating paychecks that suffocate your work. Stop glamorizing titles that muzzle your function. Write this down. Deploy your gift. Don't rent your life. If they shut down your department, the king did not recall your assignment. If they cut your salary, your value did not drop in heaven's ledger. If they change your badge, your function is still your leadership. A story to sober your excuses. A woman in our sessions was just an assistant. She could orchestrate chaos into choreography. Calendars obeyed her. Departments breathed when she entered. They cut her roll. She cried one night. Then she remembered, if they fire you, your gift goes with you. She formed a scheduling and workflow service. In 6 months, 3 companies paid retainers for the orders she carried for free. She moved from employee to solution, from permission to leadership. Not by changing her gift, but by deploying it. Practical now. Tonight, make 3 columns. Column 1, what angers me that I cannot ignore? Column 2, what do I do with ease that liberates others? Column 3, what do people repeatedly ask me to do? Circle the overlaps. That overlap is your deployment zone. Then design one act of service this week that proves value without begging for a title. Serve the gift of the vision in your house, your company, your city. Fruit will testify. Opportunities will find you because solutions are magnets. Say it with me. My gift is my leadership. My function is my service. One more time. My gift is my leadership. My function is my service. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Assignments are not employed. They are deployed. Go where your anger points, where your ease flows, where demand knocks, and serve. When you deploy, titles become decorations on the evidence of your fruit. Now hear me like a surgeon before an incision. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Write this down. Toleration is the graveyard of leaders. Some of you are carrying brilliant gifts inside chaotic teams because you are baptized dysfunction with prayer. James 2:17 says, faith without works is dead. Stop praying about what you must correct. Faith moves. It doesn't excuse. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14:33. If confusion is reigning, someone else is writing your script. Name the cancers. Write this down. Unclear roles, visionless meetings, and heroic rescues replacing systems. Unclear roles. Everyone is involved. No one is responsible. That's why your inbox looks like a crime scene. Visionless meetings, gatherings without a destination, minutes without momentum. If the vision isn't on the agenda, cancel the meeting. Heroic rescues, applause for firefighters who keep burning the same house because no one built sprinklers. We love the cape because the cape flatters the ego while systems serve the vision. Say it with me. No more capes, build systems. Here is the correction. Write this down. Define the unacceptable. Decide the non-negotiables. Design the fix. Define the unacceptable state in writing what you will no longer permit. Example, no meeting without a written purpose tied to the vision, clear owner, time box, and decision right at the top. Decide the non-negotiables. Set guardrails that do not move when emotions rise. Example, decisions travel with function. The moment dictates the leader, and handoffs are mandatory, not optional. Design the fix, document the new flow, the signals, the thresholds, the fail-safes. Titus 1-5 says, set in order the things that are lacking. Order is love for the vision. K-shift, listen closely. A company called me drowning in escalations. Discounts required 3 signatures. Sales, VP, finance, then CEO. Deal stall, morale bled, blame spread. We made one clarified decision, right. Pricing within a defined margin belonged to the pricing owner, full stop, with automated alerts to finance and post-audit weekly. One decision, right removal, erased 3 escalation layers. Cycle time fell from 7 days to 24 hours. Meetings disappeared. Revenue rose. Why? Authority followed function. Say it with me. Clarity cuts delay. Practical now. Tonight, gather your team and do a cleansing on a whiteboard. Write unacceptable. Then list the top 5 dysfunctions choking vision. Next, write non-negotiables and list the 3 rules that will govern authority by function. Then write the fix and map the new decision rights, handoff cues, and the review rhythm. End the meeting with 1 Corinthians 14:40. Let all things be done decently and in order. Put dates, names, and thresholds. No poetry policy. Say this out loud. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Again, leadership is born when toleration ends. The moment you define, decide, and design, a functional team will emerge because vision rewards order and grace funds what? Honor aligns. Now, let's build the operating system so each function leads at the right moment and hands off cleanly. Write this down. Vision chairs the table. Vision is more important than leadership. Every meeting begins with the destination and the constraints where we are going and what we will not violate to get there. Time, budget, values, and quality bar. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain that he may run who reads it. If vision is not restated, people will run but in circles. Say it with me. The vision leads, we follow by function. Next, decision rights before deliverables. Write this down. Map who recommends, who decides, who executes, and who is informed before the work starts. Do not let a project begin on hope. Begin it on clarity. If marketing recommends, product decides within scope, Engineering executes and finances inform the thresholds write it. If the brake must lead on the mountain, everyone must know when the brake becomes captain. Exodus 18 is your witness. Jethro counseled Moses to define roles, appoint capable leaders over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens, and let issues flow by design, not by panic. Structure is not unbelief, it is obedience to wisdom. Handoffs are holy. Define inputs and outputs like precision parts. Write this down. Every handoff has 3 gates: quality threshold, timing window, and acceptance test. Quality threshold. What must be true for me to pass this forward? Timing window. By when must it arrive so the next function can lead without rush surgery? Acceptance test. How will the receiver verify it's ready without debate? In engineering, they call it talk specs. In teams, it's honor specs. 1 Corinthians 14:40 still stands. Let all things be done decently and in order. Order is the lubrication of love. Establish the weekly interlock, the spine of the system. 30 minutes. Stand if you must to keep it honest. Agenda doesn't drift. Vision restated in 60 seconds. Top cross-functional dependencies surface. Handoffs confirmed. Risk raised early. Decisions assigned by the decision rights map. No status recitals that you could have emailed. Meetings are for decisions. Documents are for updates. On track, use stoplight language. Green, on track. Yellow, risk rising. Help needed. Red, breach imminent. Escalate now. Say it with me. Surface early. Solve cheaply. Proverbs 24:27 says, prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for yourself in the field. And after that, build your house. Preparation upstream prevents demolition downstream. Put the OS in writing on one page. At the top, vision and constraints. Left margin, decision rights map for this initiative. The flow with handoff gates, quality bars, timing windows, acceptance tests. Right margin, the interlock cadence with who brings what signal. Post it where eyes can see and hearts can submit. Then rehearse it once like a flight crew before takeoff. Write this down. Reduce ambiguity upstream. Reduce rework downstream. Say it again until it brands your mind. Reduce ambiguity upstream. Reduce rework downstream. Correct a habit that's stealing your future. Stop allowing emergencies to schedule you. Vision schedules you. Your OS must show what decisions are made, when, by whom, and at what thresholds, so fire drills become rare, not regular. If the moment promotes a function, everyone else must know how to decrease. John 3:30 is not just spiritual, it's structural. He must increase, but I must decrease. That is how the engine sings. Say it with me. Vision chairs the table. Function leads by moment. Handoffs are holy. Interlock keeps us honest. One more time, write this down. Simple structures, clear flows, clean handoffs. Build it once and your team will stop arguing about power and start arriving at the vision with every part still praising. Communication is not noise, it is navigation. Write this down. Language is how vision travels. You can have perfect decision rights and flawless handoff gates, but if the words are muddy, the car fishtails. Jesus warned us in Matthew 15:14, if the blind lead the blind, both will fall into a pit. So before anyone speaks, the first question is not who's in charge, but where are we going? Say it with me. The vision leads, our language follows. Here is the cadence I want in your bloodstream. Call and response for teams. The leader of the moment, watch that, of the moment, not the title. Ask 3 questions. Are we clear? Are we capable? Are we committed? The team responds in order. Clear means we all understand the destination, the constraints, and the next measurable outcome. Capable means we have the people, tools, and time to execute at spec. Committed means we will do it and we accept the cost. Write this down. Clarity before capability. Capability before commitment. If you say yes to commitment while confused, you just pledge to fail enthusiastically. No more of that. Now, standard decision language, tattoo this into your meetings. Propose, challenge, decide, commit. 4 beats, 1 song. Propose, the owner of the function presents a clear option tied to the vision and the constraints. Challenge anyone with relevant function, ask precise questions, or offers data to refine or reject. No ego, only evidence. Side the decision right holder names the choice in one sentence with scope, threshold, and time box. Commit, every executing party states their next action and deadline. And every item with a single owner and a date, not a committee, a name, a time. Write this down. Ambiguity is nobody's fault until it is everybody's failure. We will not tolerate it. Install the vision check in your language. Between agenda items, ask out loud, where are we going? If the answer is fog, stop. Restate Habakkuk 2 inches practice. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. If the blind lead the blind, both fall. If the clear lead the capable, both run. No one. And everyone, the moment leads the mouth. The function owns the verbs. Put this confession in your daily rhythm. Say it with me. I lead my function, I serve our vision. Again, louder so your heart can hear it. I lead my function, I serve our vision. When this becomes your team's anthem, arrogance evaporates and passivity disappears. Each part speaks with authority in its turn, and each part submits with honor when the turn is over. Practical cues now. Begin emails and updates with the 4-beat header. Propose, challenge, decide, commit, and end with owner, date. In stand-ups, run the triad. Are we clear? Are we capable? Are we committed? Color your answers. Green, yellow, red. Yellow triggers challenge. Red triggers escalate and redesign. Make where are we going? The first question of every room. And who owns this by when? The last. Write this down. Common language is a common lane. Speed safely together. The Autobahn is only freedom if everyone knows the signs. Your team will move fast without crashing when your words carry the weight of vision, the sequence of function, and the humility of service. Measurement is not suspicion, it is stewardship. Now that our language carries vision, we must weigh it. Write this down. Measure fruit, not fame. Jesus said, by their fruits you will know them. Matthew 7:16. Not by followers, not by noise. Fruit, edible, provable, transferable value. John 15:8 adds, by this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit and so prove to be my disciples. Proof is in produce. Say it with me. My evidence is my fruit. Design interdependent scorecards. Write this down. My metric must feed yours, not fight it. If sales celebrates volume that operations cannot deliver at spec, that metric is mutiny. If engineering optimizes for elegance while time to value starves customers, that metric is vanity. 1 Corinthians 3-6 gives the pattern. I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. Different functions, one harvest. Ephesians 4:16 says the body grows when each part works properly. So measure the chain, not just the link. Your output is not complete until the next function thrives because of it. Value over vanity. Applause is not fruit. Likes are not fruit. Titles are not fruit. Fruit is when someone else advances because you served your function. A seed is powerful, but leadership begins when the seed becomes bread for another. Write this down. Gifts become leadership when they produce edible results for someone else. If your brilliance cannot be bitten in two, it is still in the husk. Here is your rhythm. Weekly lead measures, monthly lag measures, quarterly learning. Weekly leads are behaviors within your control that predict fruit for others. First pass, handoff, acceptance rate, percentage of agenda items close with, decide, commit, and own a date, number of dependencies surface before red. Average time to response at the cross-functional junctions. Inspect them because leads shape harvest. Monthly lags are outcomes downstream. Cycle time from proposal to delivered value. Rework rates at handoff gates. Customer retention, on time and full against spec. Quarterly learning is not blame, it is wisdom. Consider your ways. Haggai 1-5. Sit with the data and ask, what did we expect? What did we inspect? What did we learn? Where must the OS, not the hero, improve? Psalm 90:12. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Write this down. Inspect what you expect. Reward cross-functional wins. Celebrate when your metric lifts another function's fruit. Publicly honor the quiet link that reduced defects for the next team. Proverbs 27-23 commands, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Know your numbers, not to boast, but to bless. Say it with me. I track the fruit my function produces for others. That evidence is my leadership. No one and everyone. The vision leads, the fruit confirms. Now we activate 7 days, not 7 months, not someday. Psalm 90:12 says, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Wisdom is not information, it is application on a clock. Write this down. Activation turns revelation into reputation. For the next week, you will clarify, align, and measure so the vision leads and your function serves with evidence. No one and everyone. Day 1 tonight before you sleep. Write this down. Define your function in 1 sentence and name your number 1 internal customer. 1 sentence, not a paragraph. Example, I translate messy demand into a clean production plan that operations can trust. Then name the primary internal customer for that function, 1 name or 1 team. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain that he may run who reads it. If it isn't plain, no one can run. Say it with me. Clarity is love. Day 2, interdependence on purpose. Map your top 3 dependencies, upstream and downstream, and schedule 2 1-5-minute alignment calls within 48 hours, not a conference. 2 short surgical conversations to confirm inputs, outputs, and timing windows. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. Write this down. Alignment before acceleration. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into the ditch. But if the clear agree early, both run on time. Day 3, decision rights in black and white. Draft your decision rights for your recurring work. Who proposes, who challenges, who decides, who commits, and share for agreement with the people who touch those cycles. Use the 4 beats we install. Propose, challenge, decide, commit, put names and thresholds. Exodus 18 proves structure is mercy. 1 Corinthians 14:40 commands, let all things be done decently and in order. Say it with me, authority follows function. These 4 and 5, handoffs are holy. Build a 1-page handoff checklist for your most common workflow and pilot it end to end once. 3 gates on the sheet, quality, threshold, what must be true, timing, window, by when, acceptance test, how, we verify. Then run it with your number 1 internal customer. Debrief for 15 minutes, tighten the bolts, run it again, write this down, reduce ambiguity upstream, reduce rework downstream, do not romanticize chaos, order is love for the vision. Day 6, measure fruit, baseline reality, set 3 fruit metrics that prove your service to others and take a baseline reading. Not vanity, fruit, first pass handoff, acceptance rate, time to response at the cross-functional junction, cycle time from proposal to delivered value for your internal customer. John 15:8, by this my Father is glorified that you bear much fruit. Matthew 7:16, by their fruits you will know them. Say it with me, my evidence is my fruit. Day 7, the vision chairs the table. Host a 2-0-minute vision chair huddle with the 2 to 5 people who touch your function. Begin with the destination and constraints in 60 seconds, then the triad. Are we clear? Are we capable? Are we committed? Confirm next handoffs using the checklist. Close with declarations and prayer if you must, but do not leave without voice printing identity. Say it loud. The world needs me. My team needs me. My function leads me to serve. Appear again. The world needs me. My team needs me. My function leads me to serve. Romans 12:11, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Write this down. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Leadership is born when toleration ends. So for 7 days, stop tolerating fog. Put ink to purpose. Put time to truth. Put numbers to love. At the end of this week, you will not have perfection. You will have momentum, evidence, and a team that can feel the vision leading. No one and everyone. The vision leads. Your function serves. Now go deploy